Well, happy holidays, everyone. It's me, Nick Michalak, and the festive Steve Frazier.
Ho, ho, ho!
And today we're giving you a commentary for the 2007 horror film P2. We have an under-recognized piece of work there in a group degree.
Yeah, we've got, not that we're running out of Christmas fodder, but,
It came to mind as it's Christmas-themed. It's offbeat to our degree in that regard, so...
Right, and it's literally Christmas, so let's do it.
So, guys, if you have your own copy of the whole film, either on DVD, if you have a Region V Blu-ray, or if you're watching on streaming, get your timestamp over to 0, turn on your subtitles to follow along with us, and we'll get synced up with a countdown. So, in 3, 2, 1, play.
What year did you say?
07.
7? Shit. That was 17 years ago.
It's a long way.
God, that doesn't seem like 17 years. How is that possible? Not so much this film, just in general, 07. Seems like not that long ago to me.
07 was a very busy year for me. That's when I was shooting The Fixer on and off for 18 months.
Well...
Yeah, this one comes through, I think Alexandra Aja, who did our famed remake of The Hills Have Eyes.
Great rape scene.
Producer, I think he at least a story credit, he is one of the 3 writers on the film. And so, this is the same way they put out the sequel to that, I think.
There is a sequel to this.
No, Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, okay.
2.
Which I didn't care for that one.
There's no sequel to this one. They might have. I don't know if they tried or whatnot, but this one wasn't that big of a hit. I mean, it made money. It was a $3.5 million budget, got just under $8 million back, so it's probably at least broke even, and probably made some money on home video to keep a profit in it.
Right.
But it didn't get good reviews, so it really didn't do much. It came out in November of 07, so I mean, it's appropriate for the fact that it's a Christmas Eve movie, but it's always kind of a difficult sell to a certain degree to do like counter programming during the holiday season as a film. Some things pull it off, some things don't. It's just a matter of gaining enough traction. Like Scream came out in December, the first one, and so they got a lot of traction and build up its steam over time, but
what a great way to open that up.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that they did the P2 title card when they had the P2 on the...
I don't think they should have done that. It's one or the other.
I think that the pillar in the basement was more than enough.
Yeah.
It's a fairly interesting idea that we're going, the elevator pitch is guy stalks girl in a parking garage for 90 minutes.
Right.
And you're like, well, how is that going to happen?
Sure. And I was reading up on IMDb trivia, and it got me over to another film. Because it said there was another film made in 1981, which was like direct-to-video, which was very much almost the same concept, called Lower Level.
Okay.
And you can't really find it much anywhere. Like, the DVD's out of print, so if you're asking $50 for it, you don't want to pay $50 for this thing.
Probably not.
But someone threw it up on YouTube a couple months ago for free.
Oh, so you can watch the whole thing for free on YouTube.
Yeah, I watched about 25 minutes of it. It's about what you expect for a 1981 direct-to-video film. For about a 1981 thriller, you're throwing up there, not a lot of money, about 3 people in the cast all day long.
So it's a stage play, basically.
In kind of way. It just... It's not like you're watching Brian De Palma or something like that. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's not going for cinematic in a way. It's very much grab it on a Friday night. You watch it. You don't watch it. You're not missing much if you don't.
I think that we've set this up a really good scene. Like, he's apologizing. We don't necessarily know what for.
The context is much. Just they had an altercation and...
Right. And her body language and his body language really show you what their characters are about.
Yeah.
Good writing. Good writing.
Good directing, acting, yeah. I think they also... This one was also shot in Toronto, doubling a bit for New York.
Well, that's probably...
typical.
Right. I mean, they did their one shot of New York.
Yeah, they got a couple stock footage things wherever they grabbed.
Famous last words. I won't be late.
Yeah.
I promise.
And probably indicative of the fact that the film kind of was a lukewarm success is the fact that Lionsgate never even gave it a Blu-ray here in the States. There's one overseas in Region B, like I said, but they just left it on DVD and put it up on streaming, and that's about as much as they care about it.
And that's a shame, because, well, I was just thinking,
By 2008, plenty of stuff just being thrown out on Blu-ray without even having much of a quality control about it.
Yeah, this doesn't look bad.
No.
But it's not crisp.
No. I was watching from a distance like, this looks fine enough. There's sometimes that a well-mastered encoded DVD can look better than a badly encoded Blu-ray.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of, like, film feel to it. It's...
Yeah. Not overly processed or anything.
Right, it's just slightly uncrisp.
Yeah. Am I kind of... My interesting trivia fact. Is that okay? Guy playing Carl here is Philip Akin. He was a regular cast member of Highlander the series. And that movie, Lower Level, which was done before Highlander series, also has a regular cast member from the show. So both films with similar concepts both have tiebacks to a show they both worked on.
That's very random.
It's like, okay, where'd that come from?
Shout out to Maine. She has a... she said that she's from Upper Maine, east side of Maine, and farm girl. I'm literally wearing my Maine sweatshirt right now. I was in Maine literally 1 year ago to the day that we were recording this.
I like the fact that they had the angle where the door's open, you saw P2 right there, so it already sets up a little underlying tension. She's not showing up on P1. Where it's like, oh, well, there's still a little buffer zone. It's like, this is where it's going to happen.
Right. Well, yes. Oh, and there's the car right there.
Yeah.
Which... So, they do the thing where they start you somewhere in the movie and then start over. The opening stinger there.
Yeah. When I was first watching it the other night, as I've watched it before, but it was a long time.
You rewatched
I
before.
thought it was just like a precursor, like it was something that he'd done something else before, and this is just... I didn't realize it was like a flashback bit. Or flash forward.
For a flash forward, right.
Yeah. Although there's like a regular serial killer situation, he's just done this over and over again. I dabbled in that sort of thing before. When you're like, oh, you start the thing off with a scene that happens like in the third act, and then you kind of jump back to the beginning of the story and get back up to that thing.
Right.
I've gone way away from that. I've heard a lot of people criticize that sort of storytelling trope as of late.
It's been done very successfully over the years. I can't think of one right off the top of my head, but...
Sure. The one I know specifically most familiar is that they do that with Mission Impossible 3 because they have this entire. At least when you can do it and you can recontextualize it later, it kind of works better instead of just like, here's just a scene and we play it again later on. At least the Mission Impossible 3 ones, like they're setting up a scene and then as you go through the entire film, you eventually see there's a twist at the end of the scene that you don't get the first time through.
Yeah, and I think that's usually how it goes, right?
Yeah.
You show the scene from one angle,
Right.
and then, when it comes around, you get the full story.
Right.
Here we have our
Creeper.
antagonist.
Wes Bentley was not in a good way at this point in time.
No.
He was addicted to cocaine and heroin.
Heroin, too?
He was only taking roles just to feed his habit until he went almost broke, and he had to ask a friend. And apparently, it was part of a documentary after that stuff happened. And he kind of cleaned himself up, talking about it. I think it was like some I don't know the actual name, but you'll probably find it easily if you look him up. Like 4 different stories of a similar ilk about people going down those wrong tracks and cleaning themselves up. But yeah, he was. I mean, you can't really tell that he's a mess or anything in the film. But knowing that, it's like, it kind of skews you to a certain degree.
Well, it makes him even a bigger heel, I guess.
Right.
He's currently got a role on the hit show Yellowstone.
Okay, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal, and he's great. So I'm a fan. I didn't realize he had it that bad.
Yeah.
Like, the Coke is one thing, but the H is...
Yeah,
that's really...
That's really get you bad.
Look at this. He's got a portable...
This
he's got
is
a
familiar right now. This is very topical for Steve.
I literally did this morning.
Yes.
My car is in need of a new battery. I am in possession of the new battery. The little portable gimmick, mine is much smaller. This is an antique here.
Yeah.
Is a lifesaver because you don't need a second car.
Right.
But jump-starting a car is one of the, 3 basic things that I could probably do on a car. One basic thing that I can know how to do on a car.
Yeah. Under the hood.
I know nothing about car maintenance whatsoever. I can't do anything. I'm pretty much a helpless male when it comes to all aspects of manhood. But I will say that the fact that the lights came on and it started means you just got to wait a second and keep going, and it would have started. Yeah. Now, I think he's done something nefarious to the car.
That's what I think, yeah.
But either way, like in a normal situation, you don't just give up.
Yeah.
Because it worked more on the first crank than it did on the zero.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, though, because at this point you don't know that he's the bad guy.
Right.
Like he's actually like tried really hard to let her go.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
Right.
What is this Mariah Carey outfit she's got? And the cell phone, good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Park Avenue is a good indicator that,
Yeah.
she's working in a fancy place.
Yeah.
Not that you couldn't really tell based on
the dress and everything.
Right,
yeah.
the whole everything, but then they throw Park Avenue and you're like,
Right.
oh. Like, I can't tell what's in the bag. Is it is it a Santa suit? It looks like it,
Yeah.
but is that for her? What? She did the old call me a car. Like, there was no Uber at this point.
No.
She called for a town car or something.
There's a nice transition here.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And she ends up with a taxi? I've never had a taxi call me. And I'm old enough to have used taxis.
Sure.
I've never had the taxi driver call.
They might honk for you, but that's about it.
Right. Maybe. If you don't show up right away and they're mad.
Yeah. Meter's running. I got place to be.
Like, where the fuck is Carl? Come on. Imagine she gets out right now and gets in the car, and then
Right.
there's no movie.
There's no movie.
And I don't know why he would care. It's Christmas Eve.
Right. He's got
He's
plenty
getting
of
paid.
fares.
He's getting paid.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's technically not till she gets in the car.
Right. Dude, she ain't in the car. You ain't paying piss.
Well, I'm going to guess that they have a base salary or something, right? Like,
Sure, but still.
they don't get the tips.
Right.
Right. There's got to be a base. I don't
Him
know.
sitting there not getting paid means he's not getting paid for another fare somewhere else.
Right, sure. No service in P1.
That's realistic enough. A lot of these concrete structures, you can't get much signal through these places.
She picked up all these things like they don't weigh anything. Because they probably don't. It's setting up to be a decent premise.
Yeah.
It is a string of unbelievable circumstances, but
At least enough when you kind of get the vibe later on that he's kind of manufactured the situation.
yeah, that definitely makes it more, understandable. Because you're like, how could this person have this bad of luck the
Right.
whole time?
But it's good that, again, actually setting it on Christmas Eve is like, you expect it to be empty.
Right. Well, and
No
Carl
one's
said
working late on freaking Christmas Eve.
the building is closed for 3 days.
Yeah.
So,
Probably a long weekend.
right. Some
Go back on my calendar and see where
Oh, boy.
Christmas landed in 07. If we're doing that. Well, at least in 06, when they're, whatever the case was, in 06, Christmas Eve was a Saturday. In 07,
It would have been a Sunday.
it was a Sunday. So, not saying anything, I don't think anything particularly pins down a date on this one
Right.
in terms of year. But
Although it's set on Christmas Eve. So,
yeah.
and I don't, for anyone out there is like, it's unheard of to be working on Christmas Eve. I disagree.
Yeah.
You and I will probably both work on Christmas Eve. Well, I will for sure. I don't know about you.
I probably will.
It's a Tuesday this year for us.
Yeah.
Oh, Muay Thai. Of all the bumper stickers that you could put on your car, I heart Muay Thai. Oh, shit.
There we go. That's the creepy one.
So we're 20 minutes in, and now he's revealed himself to be the heel.
Right. 20 minutes is a good point to introduce what the second act threat is going to be.
Well, right. Like, I feel like at this point we've ended Act 1.
Yeah.
We've set up all the circumstances. I don't know, like, she's kind of had an objective ever since the beginning.
Yeah. Now she has an adversary.
Right. Imagine how good that would look in 4K. It looks pretty good there.
Yeah.
I mean, how creepy is it that he dressed her as such, possibly by undressing her first, and then he put makeup on her. He's wearing the goddamn Santa suit that was in the bag.
And
like, is this just what she had on under her?
well, she was wearing a pantsuit.
I guess this is a dress. I was thinking it was like a slip or something underneath. But no, this is more of a dress. Mm-hmm. Okay. Puppy! Good makeup on her face there. Not
stage makeup.
Stage, yeah. Good effect makeup. Like, the first thing I would think is, how did I get in this dress?
Yeah.
What did you do to me while you were putting me in this dress?
Right.
Like, to me, that's the terrifying... Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. Being chained up is also terrifying, but you know what I mean.
What you do to me when I was unconscious is just a horrifying thing to think of. I kind of like the fact that the outfit the uniform doesn't quite fit him right.
It's a little sloppy.
It makes it almost feel like he's not really the guy, but he is. But it just adds something more. If he was kind of all tight and clean and whatnot, it would feel differently. It's like a half a size too big.
Now we've got some great classic heel characteristics here, where
the knife,
where he says, basically, "I'm doing all of this for you."
Yeah.
And then the minute she says, "You're crazy," he says, "What, are you not grateful that I did this?" You know what I mean? Like,
it's
that
intimidating.
Right. There's that whole, like, control freak.
Right. You should appreciate me.
Right, yes. Blame the victim because...
Right.
You know, because you and I can say, well, maybe just play along to get along, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
And see what happens, but...
See if I can find an opening in this relationship that he delusionally believes exists.
But she's clearly, like, trying to stand her ground.
Yeah.
Which...
Right.
I get, you know...
Right, not show weakness.
You're defensive right off the bat, right?
Right. Trying to be smart enough about it.
It's pretty good writing because he seems to have an answer for everything.
Oh, yeah. That you can clearly tell he's been very much watching it through the surveillance.
Yeah, because basically...
He's not giving any way out.
Right. We're on a date, and you're going to like it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that I would be hungry. Like, even if I was going to play along, right?
The anxiety.
The anxiety, she literally just threw up.
Yeah, that doesn't make you give you an appetite at all.
Right. It's a little thing, but I love that she's, like, looking down.
Yeah.
And her eyes are kind of moving back and forth.
Yeah,
like she's really
glazed over.
She's really, like, thinking.
Yeah.
And processing the situation and trying to find a way out.
Right.
You know, he's looking directly at her.
Yeah. Kind of blindly, yeah.
And she's spending...
the whole time putting the pieces together. There's the moment. Like, oh, that's going to piss him off.
It's always interesting when the camera moves from one side to the other.
Yeah.
And, like, there is a conscious decision to move across the back of the head.
Yeah.
Because clearly it's blurry. You're not looking at anything, right?
Yeah. But it's such a nice way to do kind of a paradigm shift. Or change the mentality of a character.
Look at how dilated his eyes are.
Oh, yeah, he's very wide.
He's got beautiful blue eyes.
Yeah. The whole thing is like, it's clearly showing that he knows, he's been observing her long enough to know that what she's saying is bullshit. He's trying to let her shoot the holes in it herself.
She's really good about...
Yeah, keeping her composure.
And also knowing answers.
Yeah, quick.
Right? It wasn't like...
Stopping for a few seconds to think it through.
And this is, like, so awkward.
Yeah. A little nudge forward even.
And she's doing that, like, cringy face.
Yeah. Unflinching.
Harlem River Drive? I don't think that's a real street. He is good.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much better he would be if he were not under the influence.
Right.
Not to say that he's under the influence here.
Yeah, and
but when you know that portion of the backstory,
yeah,
it makes you almost think like what could have been,
right?
Not what is.
Yeah. It seems like all the featurettes on the DVD are all just the fluff piece stuff they did at the time for promotion. No one's talking out of turn or whatnot about anything.
Her body language is fantastic.
Oh yeah, she's really damn good.
She's got, the red nose, like she's been doing lines in the toilet. And here she's realizing that he actually knows every detail.
Yeah. You're not going to bluff your way out of this one.
I feel like it'd be so hard to just cry on...
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. I mean, if that was Meryl Streep,
oh yeah,
she'd be an Oscar nominee.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Go, no.
Speaker, yeah.
The P2 in the background again.
I was gonna say.
They have it very prominent around.
Yeah.
Which really makes it even that much worse that they put the title card in.
Yeah, that's no good.
It's no good.
It's unnecessary. And this was a fully functioning actual parking garage they shot in, but it was all nights, all the time. So it's probably after they close down for the day and they go in there, but...
Right, you're working third shift, basically.
Yeah. For like, I think they said
2 weeks?
I think they said about 2 months.
Oh, that long?
Possibly.
Here he's getting handsy. Yeah, don't say the wrong thing or you're dead, bitch. Like, they're clearly just weird family, right?
Yeah. That's a good shot. I like that. Kind of close up. He's in focus. He's in control.
She says, "I don't know," to "Where are you?" And then he gets the wide eyes and... And he's so proud.
Yeah.
Look at that. He's done a beautiful job with the decorations.
Oh, yeah.
He's got the sweat on his brow.
Yeah. A little bit of hairstyling on him. He's a little overgrown to a degree. Like the sideburns a little shaggy. It works for the character, is what I'm saying.
Right.
The shirt being a little flimsy, it's a little baggy. It doesn't fit quite right. It's a little disheveled in some cases, but it's more subtle in a certain way.
In the mind of the character, though, he looks like $1 million.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think he really nails this.
Yeah.
You know?
You're going to die in 7 days.
Well, she hasn't watched it yet.
Hasn't watched it. Like, this is like the last moment in time you can do the fucking CRT TV, the VHS tape. After 2007, you're obsolete now.
And here we've got a good callback. So now,
Yeah.
now you have the context of puppy. The reindeer antlers really just make it that much better, right?
Yeah.
And I love that he takes it personally.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
this guy's such a psycho
Yeah.
that he really believes that she belongs to him.
Yeah. Apparently, Rachel Nichols, she said, these are all real handcuffs. There are no gimmick ones or anything like that. She got the one on the shackle here, then later on she's cuffed at the wrist for like half the movie. At a certain point, she's running around barefoot, so they have to put like rubber soles on her feet.
Oh, really? I would like to
It's
argue.
a very physically enduring performance.
I would like to argue that the fork in the shoulder blade
Oh, yeah.
would hurt like a son of a bitch right away.
Right.
But that went into the muscle.
Yeah, yeah.
That would hurt so bad for like
So
the next
tight and tense.
the next couple
Tender.
hours. You wouldn't be able to move your arm.
Yeah, yeah.
And he does all kinds of things that he would not be able to do if that were a real wound.
I recall, not even that severe, but I remember a couple years ago when I got one of my booster shots done and they jammed the needle into the shoulder.
Yeah.
It hurt for days.
Days.
Gotta be gentle. Look at that nice boxy brown car.
Oh my God, it's
It's
beautiful.
not a sedan.
It's
It's
not.
a little bit knocked down for you. Don't like the sedan.
I don't like a coupe, no.
You're not a coupe guy. You're a sedan man.
I'm a sedan man.
But this is closer on your end of things.
Oh, brown sedan man. That's me.
But it adds to it. It's like, even more in retrospect, okay, we're seeing the boxy car. We got the VHS tape, the CRT TV. There's something a little peculiar about it.
And again, her body language of like looking out, looking away. We're going down.
Mm-hmm.
There's this whole like psychological descent.
Oh yeah.
You know? P4 now. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
We are really in the bowels. Good musical sting.
Oh yeah.
And here's our guy, Mr. Deer Antlers himself. And what's so great about this is that he wasn't in the office 2 hours ago when she said, I forgive you.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to reason with a person like this is just
Not possible.
Right. The other thing that always kind of made me a little eyebrow raise is Tom is not the only person that's ever worked in this building.
He's not the only surveillance guy. He's not here 24/7.
Right. So I feel like he's so good.
Yeah.
That was all, coke-induced there.
Sadly.
It just makes you an extension of what you really were.
Yeah,
it's you with the volume turned up.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I find it hard to believe that he could pull this whole thing off because there's other people that work the surveillance.
Yeah. Even if there's a dedicated team just for the parking garage and Carl's not part of it.
Right. Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, okay, maybe he only works the night shift.
Right.
That's fine, but he doesn't work it 7 days a week.
Right, and he's got to have a supervisor or something.
Right.
And it's so much like I'm trying to help you.
Right.
You don't understand, and oh my lord, it's a perfect psychosis.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really well written. And get in your coupe and drive away. I don't remember what the actual diagnosis is, but
Sure.
He's like, here, murder this man. That's my present to you. I brought you a man to murder.
Yeah.
Aren't you grateful that I did this for you?
Yeah, here's your liberation. Now the entire thing's like, oh, Christ, I gotta untie you. I don't trust
And
you enough to
also,
untie you.
you're doing it for me. No, I'm doing it for you.
Oh, there it is. That's the security guard mentality. And it's also the things like that adds into his psychosis that he's a security guard. And he's taken this too personally, too literally.
Right. To secure this woman?
To both surveil and then enact whatever sort of extreme sort of protection is necessary for someone he's fixated on.
I like the no entry sign.
I think they said they did certain types of production design on the film for it, but I mean, if it was a functional working one at a time, I can't imagine you can do that much with it, like repainting everything or.
Well, I'm sure you can. They probably had to. Not every
reset it at the end or something. I don't know.
Not every parking garage has the P markings.
Yes, they're all different stuff. Like the one under Soldier Field's got like color coded types of things.
Right. I think color coding is actually much more common.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to remember.
All three have blue eyes? Like, is this a thing where you only cast blue-eyed folks?
I don't know. Probably fairly common, I'd imagine.
Blue eyes or casting blue eyes?
Blue eyes.
Oh.
Just blue eyes in general, I guess. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but they're still a recessive trait, so it's...
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Oh, okay. Well,
Conjecture.
Brown is a dominant trait. Blue is a recessive trait. So it is... like a 1 in 4, I think. is blue.
You know, my mama had blue eyes.
Ow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Clonk.
Ow. Oh, he's really painting him up, isn't he? He's murdering the man.
Oh, yes.
He would not be conscious, though, after maybe the second one.
Oh, yeah. There's head trauma now.
Well, there was head trauma after the first one.
Right. I'm just saying, you know how heavy those big sucker freaking metal...
Maglite?
Yeah, those suckers.
I love the spatter, the blood spatter. There's something poetic about it being the handicap area, and he's tied up, you know? And I'm mad at you for defending him. The amount of psychosis that's spewing from him. It's such a wonderful thing because no matter what you say...
Yeah, he's got a way to twist it around.
Right.
And that's just great.
Originally, it felt like he was much closer to the wall than
Yeah.
that.
Ends up being a pretty good effect they do here.
Oh.
Because they had a dummy with, like, one of the green socks on the head. And they digicomposite the guy's head onto the entire dummy.
No shit. Look at that. He's got a sausage hanging out. Yeah. She started calling him Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was... Oh, fuck me. Oh, here's where you said she was running barefoot.
Yeah.
Look at that. He's just got all of it.
All out.
Oh,
He's going all out.
Yes, he had more of his insides on the outside than the insides on the inside.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, good. I love that they do these little security cam.
Yeah. Get the idea in there.
Ain't nobody walking the streets of New York City gonna stop and help anybody.
No.
I've seen it firsthand. Shout out to our guy Trent, who's in New York City right now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good move. At least get your hands in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And then figure out a way to break the chains, so to speak.
Something, yeah.
And I think at this point, it makes sense that her instinct is still to try to get out.
Yeah.
Is it weird to you that the security headquarters are on level 2 and not level 1? Or even, I guess I don't know, I guess ground floor doesn't exist. 1 would be the first row underneath. That makes the most sense, right?
Sure, but if you're going to call P2, you got to keep it centralized.
Well, yeah, because P1 isn't a good name.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have the same... P3 is fine. P4 is fine, but P1 doesn't...
No.
It doesn't have the right ring.
Yeah. Really nice sequence.
I love Rottweilers. What is he doing?
He's covering up the gory mess.
If there's one thing you don't do, it's play tug of war with a dog.
Mm-hmm. I like that it keeps... Even though the thing never does snap, it's nice that they keep showing it to kind of give you that further edge on the sequence.
Right.
It might.
Well, sure it might.
Right.
It always does. The fact that it doesn't here is brilliant.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies that do that, where they kind of set up the stereotypical thing.
Yeah.
And then they just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, well, I saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah.
And it really takes away from it.
Right.
I think at the very least you have it not happen, and then when you think, okay, they're going to...
Kind of switch out, like, keep teasing it, doesn't happen, then later on maybe it does happen.
Right.
So you kind of play it better.
An entire store of audiobooks?
That's what I was saying, like, that's weird to me. I mean, clearly it's got to be somewhere in Toronto.
Well, they might have just made it up, too.
Maybe.
But it's weird. Like, it's one thing if you have the name of the company and then multiple awnings that have different items that you carry, right? Like,
Spoken Word Audiobooks, Toronto, Ontario.
Shut up, it's a real place.
Help on Yelp, yeah.
Oh my God. We just Googled it right now.
350 Bay Street. If anyone's nearby, or come by soon.
And it's still operational 15 years later.
Well, let me...
17 years later. Call him. Let's call him right now, live on the air. Hi, I'm watching this movie.
Get up on the street view.
I kind of want to call him. So she was able to call 911. So that's good. I hate when they do that, when they show somebody coming and then they're just magically gone, like they figured out how to get out and duck around a corner.
I don't think... That looks like the exterior, but it says retail space for lease.
Oh, they're done?
Potentially. Unless they moved somewhere. Old.
But it does look
this
like...
Is from about a year ago.
That does look like the building, though.
Yeah, the black awnings.
Well, that's sad. And, you know, I like that they set it up where you need the key card to get back in the building, which doesn't really make any sense, but what do I know?
Maybe after hours when things have kind of locked down, maybe.
Yeah, I guess. Just so that anybody can't walk into the parking garage and gain access to the building.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, don't hit P2. You're on P2. I guess not. I guess she was on P1. Why? I don't know if you could manipulate the thing to stop or to not go to the lobby. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you can tell it not to go to one specific...
It depends on how sophisticated the system is.
I guess it's Park Avenue, so whatever.
Yeah.
Look at that. She's so enamored to hear somebody. I don't remember. Is that Wes Bentley on the other end of that thing?
Yeah.
I feel like it is.
He's throwing on an accent to fool her.
Yeah. She's doing a great job.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good line because now she knows. And she's so mad.
Yeah.
How is she going to get away by saying, I called the cops? Well, I guess she did.
Yeah.
But she's begging the person on the other end to call the cops.
Yeah. Well, she dropped the mobile phone. And she was trying to contact someone she didn't know whether or not she did.
Right.
So just trying to be doubly certain. I just pulled up her Wikipedia, and interestingly enough, she was in the remake of the Amityville Horror. To which...
I think I remember liking that.
To which the director of this goes off and does one of those 4 dozen Amityville films called Amityville The Awakening, which was a film that went unreleased for almost 3 years. And no one wanted to release it because I heard it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't worth a damn, really.
With the remake?
No, it was...
Oh, all of these other ones?
Yeah, just slap the name of Amityville. I looked up the Wikipedia last night. There are 56 movies with the name Amityville in the title just because they can.
56.
56. At least what it lists on Wikipedia.
56 is at least 50 too many.
Yes.
At least 50 too many.
Yeah, it just sat on the shelf and got released for free on Google Play.
Of course it did.
With a short theatrical release. They're just like, why are you bothering?
Well, because you want to be nominated for an Oscar. That's why. You got to have a theatrical release.
Nobody nominated this for fucking anything. But yeah. Yeah, the director of this thing, he's got a weird old name. I think he's another French guy. Franck, spelled F-R-N-C-K.
Shut up
Khalfoun.
with that.
This guy didn't take off. He didn't do much of anything.
Franck with no A.
No,
no A, Franck.
F-R-A-N-C-K.
Oh, okay. That's different.
Yeah, I mean, what I just mentioned to you is like the most well-known thing he's done because nothing else went anywhere. He did like the remake of Maniac with Elijah Wood.
Oh,
some people hated it, absolutely hated it. Some people thought it was all right, but yeah, he didn't get much traction after this. I mean, Aja gave him everything. He gave him the same cinematographer, the same composers he worked on with Hills of Eyes, and I don't know.
This always kind of bothered me. I guess it's a decent visual.
Yeah.
I don't know how he gained access to the top of the elevator shaft, but whatever. So,
a lot of stuff with elevators and films. I bet there's 1,000 things that are smudged over that really can't happen.
Right. It's much like the air ducts.
Right. It's just People think you can do something, and so they just go off and just manufacture, like, oh, you can just pull the doors open and stuff like that without any kind of... I'm sure for, like, a fire department or something like that, I'm sure there's options, but unless you actually know what you're doing to operate, I'm sure there's no fucking clue.
So the
I couldn't just walk up to an elevator and just pry it open.
Right. I have no idea how to do that.
No, fuck all.
So this looks good visually.
Yeah.
But let us not forget that...
It's electrical systems.
And it's also Christmas Eve. So this is cold water.
Right.
On Christmas
Blowing
Eve.
in from the bay.
Like,
There's Carl.
Carl. She would literally be incapacitated with cold.
Freezing ass water.
Yeah.
This ain't treated at all. That's nice, the exterior view of it going down.
And then that, blowing her right into the pillar. And it's not like she just got her feet wet.
Yeah.
She is covered
Right.
head to toe, doused,
Right.
drenched. It's freezing. Where are you trying to drag him?
I have no clue.
What's your end game here, sweetheart?
Yeah. She's just hysterical.
I wonder how uncomfortable she was being
Oh yeah,
semi-nude.
Well, like I said, I mean, it was physically demanding. They're shoot handcuffs. So it's not like there's rubber padding or anything like that, and she's walking around almost barefoot, and it's probably fairly cold. I'm guessing it's probably fairly cold in the freaking... I'm sure most underground parking garages are like really cold, or they're really dank and moist.
Yes. Even if they shot this in the dead of summer.
Yeah. I'm sure they're probably shooting this maybe 6 months ahead of time, maybe.
I feel like it's more than that.
I might see something in the shooter. Started shooting in August of 2006.
So it's a full year ahead.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, so August, it's fucking hot.
August, Toronto, I'm sure it's pretty goddamn hot.
But Christmas Eve,
Right.
New York City,
Yeah,
it's going to be cold. Right.
Way, yeah.
And she's got her tits hanging out.
Right. There's at least
They're good tits, though, by the way.
Right. I was going to comment, it's like, at least the wardrobe department made it like she's not, like it's a wet t-shirt contest.
Right.
Her stuff is seeing through.
Right.
I guess they were smart enough on that not to be stupid exploitative.
That's a fun little gimmick where you try to...
deflate the tires
right.
and front, sure.
Another P2. Again, let's blame the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at least
that's nice too that she's trying to
warm herself.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know if she can get to her car. I mean, inside the car would be warmer.
To a degree.
I keep blankets in my trunk.
Eh.
I think this is an underrated Christmas song.
Oh, I love it.
As much as I don't love Christmas music,
Right.
there are certain ones that
that are genuinely good songs.
Yeah. I mean, there are some that I like. I just don't ever want to listen to them.
Right.
You know, but when they come on, I'm like, oh yeah, I like this song. This is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I just love Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Straight. No problem with that.
Did you see the Elvis movie? The Austin Butler?
No, I haven't.
It's so good. There's your axe. I love an axe. You love an axe. And that's a good move. You go around and start destroying the cameras.
Yeah.
And he's so distracted that...
Yeah. He's not noticing any of it.
Which is weird, because why would he give up... You know what I mean? Like, he's been in cold pursuit, as it were. Another giant P2.
Yeah.
And after she escaped, he had like wet footprints to follow. He lost track of her. But instead of continuing to search, he went back and did this.
Peculiar, yeah.
It is. But I guess it just understates his craziness.
Yeah.
Not understates, it underlines.
Sure.
We're about an hour and 5 or so in. There's only a half hour left.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's so many things that are yet to come. Like, this movie's kind of jam-packed with action.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like I was saying, if you start off with the pitch of, like, girl held captive in a parking garage, like, what are you going to do for all that time?
Right.
It's really hard to, you know, maintain story.
Scenarios.
Right.
Yeah.
Even in this ridiculous state. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Isn't she so beautiful?
Oh, yeah.
Like, even in that condition.
Distressed state, yeah.
And now, here we go.
Yeah, the creepo.
You know, filming everything when she was unconscious. And, you know, what else did he film?
Oof. Oof.
I mean, if that doesn't want to make you throw up again.
Yeah.
It really just makes you want him to die so bad. Don't you, right? Like, yes. That is appropriate. And there's the rescue.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. It's all over. Good.
Mm.
Oh, and then he stuns her, and she's all wet, so that's going to be a double stun. And I like how he's almost, like, inconvenienced, right? You know, like, I have to go and tidy up all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Because I can't make it known that...
You gotta hide all the suspicious evidence.
Right. Again, he shouldn't have to be up. It should be right there. A little extra juice, right, to make sure she's down for a while. You gotta wonder, was he like admiring that? Or
realizing just going this entire time, not realizing it was splattering.
Right. But at the same time, it's like that was his handiwork of murdering the other guy.
Yeah.
Guts out. Whatever that guy's name was. And here is Mr. Chicago, or New York cop, rather.
Discount Dennis Franz.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the New York accent. He's got the big fucking caterpillar mustache. It's not really a caterpillar. It's more of a Jake Roberts.
Yeah, a little bit.
Didn't think of that, did you, genius? The cell phone. I feel like the cops would have noticed that when they drove up, right? Like, cops are perceptive.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Good little cover story, I suppose. I love the security footage.
Oh, yeah.
He still hasn't figured out that some of them are broken. I didn't particularly care for the idea that... How'd she get in her trunk? She doesn't have her car keys, right?
He stuffed her in there.
Oh, okay. What I was saying is... Like, the fact that he has to toggle through to get to the broken ones doesn't make sense to me. I feel like you would see all of them on one screen. And then, as they were broken, that one box would be black. It wouldn't just go away and then you're seeing another view. Like, I can't imagine if there's, 24 cameras that you only have 16 spots on your screen.
Yeah, well...
I mean, clearly that's the way that they've portrayed it, but in every environment that I've ever worked that had security cameras, the view was all.
Okay.
Santa baby. Interesting that the radio or the record player is hooked up to the entire parking garage. Like,
well, you had a speaker with a microphone next to it.
Just so that you can communicate with anybody?
Supposedly.
Because I know that you can't just play licensed music in a public place.
You need to pay a fee for that.
Right. I know all about taking apart a trunk because I had to do it this morning. My battery's in my trunk, by the way.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to be out of this.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you have better to be doing, sir? You know, you're getting paid.
Right.
You're already not home with your wife. The cops have just passed her car. Now, isn't it interesting that there's your scene from the opening?
Yeah.
But they didn't even recreate it so that you
Exactly
could match
the same way, yeah.
match it together.
It really doesn't add anything. It just seems like it's a random stinger they decided to splice in at the head of it to make it prep you that it's a horror film.
Right. Like, it doesn't... it really ruins it.
Right.
Like, unless you're going to show it... Like, remember she had, like, the arm sticking out and the, oh my God.
Right. Yeah, no.
But it's also not the end of the movie.
Right.
They would have felt that they rolled over something. All right, Indiana Jones and underneath. Go.
Not with that.
Never mind. If I remember correctly, this dog gets fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
What a cute pup, too. I love Rottweilers. They're one of those, like, pit bulls that gets a bad rep.
Yeah.
And everyone just assumes they're all bad dogs, but they're totally not.
It's all about the owner. How they train them.
Right. Like, Rottweilers are big, burly, strong animals.
Yeah, they look like it.
But they're good dogs if you are not...
Yeah, a piece of shit.
Right, right. I guess I understand the hesitation of not wanting to...
Yeah. But after that...
Right. Oh, fuck. Oh,
Ooh,
she's really...
getting grisly with
she's
it.
really ramming and grinding it around in there.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Look at that splatter.
Mm-hmm.
Don't drink the dog blood, though.
No.
We get things like COVID. That Monte Carlo is really fucked, isn't it? The dog and the Monte Carlo. Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
I like that she's trembling. I like...
Oh, yeah. She's excellent.
R.I.P. Rocky. What floor are we on?
Lost track.
I did too. Oh, P2. So not only do we have the office, but the rental car place.
Yeah.
Neither of which are on P1. And we know that there's at least 4 floors.
Yes.
Like, that's weird. I don't like it. I know you don't care. Oh, okay. I'm done.
Oh.
At no point does 911 ever
Put you on hold.
Put you on hold. There's no all lines are busy. And I guarantee you that all lines are not busy on fucking Christmas Eve in the middle of the night.
Right.
Like, this isn't real.
Yeah.
That's not a thing. It would have been better if he just cut the phone line. That's fucking stupid. But I love that it's a rental car place and she has access to whatever vehicles she wants.
Right.
That's a good... No, you're not. All the lines are not busy. It's fucking 911. Nope. Rocky's gone.
Mm-hmm.
She Apollo created him. What a great psychosis this is. He's just an animal in that direction, but when the dog was set out to hurt her, everything was fine. I mean, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's this part of it is really good. But that part of it right there is a fucking stretch, and I don't like it. Yeah, this is good. He's unglued, and it's so good.
Oh, yeah.
I like the bloody handprint.
Yeah.
Bloody handprint's nice. The Walmart work shoe.
Yeah.
Oh, you still got the stun. Yeah, better click it to make sure everybody knows it works.
The second Christmas movie we were done with someone with a stun gun after Batman Returns.
Oh, Batman Returns we did with a stun gun, yeah. I forgot about Batman Returns. That was a Christmas offering.
See, they pay for Pepsi.
Well, they're stupid. Nobody should ever pay for Pepsi. I don't mind wild cherry Pepsi. I'll drink that if it's at a fountain, but usually the folks that carry Pepsi also carry Dr. Pepper, so I will choose that as an alternative.
Trying to get me fired, aren't you? That's another great line.
Right. Because he doesn't see that anything...
I'm the victim here.
Right. He doesn't understand that anything that he's done tonight is a fireable offense.
How can we all be the security guard while you're locked up in prison?
He's got this whole fantasy in his mind. Wonderful. I was going to get mad about the name Empire State Rentals.
Sure.
But the whole thing is the Empire State, all of New York. So it's not just the Empire State Building, which is nowhere near Park Avenue. But well, I shouldn't say nowhere near, but it's not on Park Avenue.
Sure.
At least I don't think. Let me just double check that before I get called out again.
But there's a nice like fast food restaurant called Windy City Subs, but it's in Worth. It's not in Chicago. It's like half an hour away from Chicago.
Well,
so, you want to leech off the name, but you don't want to be in the city for it.
All right, I'm good. The Empire State Building's on 5th Avenue and 34th.
Look at that PT Cruiser. That's very 2007.
PT Cruisers came out, I think, in 2000 or 2001. Lady I worked for at the time bought the very first generation. And I was at her house when it was delivered to their driveway and drove in it. Here, the phone rings and it's, hello, this is PT Cruiser pulling up. And we got in the car and went for a ride. And it was like, she got like the first gen prototype round.
You don't see them much anymore.
Not really.
They were hot for a time, but then...
Yeah, I mean, that was...
went away.
It's been 20-ish years since they were novel. Also like to point out that the Empire State Building has one of those Starbucks roasteries, and it is not good. It is not. It's an inferior roastery. If anybody that's listening from around the world would like the best Starbucks experience you'll ever had in your life, Chicago, Illinois, Starbucks Roastery, which is the largest Starbucks on the planet, has... It's fucking Disneyland for coffee drinkers. There's 5 floors. It's the best place you could ever go. Please come to Chicago. Please go to the Roastery. It's on Michigan Avenue. Pontiac, that was my first car. Pontiac Grand Am.
They also don't make them anymore.
No. It was I did have a 90 for a minute, and then I got a 91. Yeah, that was my first car, a 1990 Pontiac Grand Am. I liked that car. I had it for a long time. Well, not the 90. I had the 91 for a long time. Now you're going to play a little chicken?
Uh-huh.
I never understood, like, the whole point of chicken is to see which one of you is going to drive and flinch, right?
Right.
And move.
Yeah.
But
who's going to be the chicken?
Right. But if you are both not chicken, you both end up dead.
Right.
So what do you win? Like,
right. Bragging rights.
Right, I guess. And what if you both are chicken and you both chicken in the same direction?
Well, then you just walk away and don't tell nobody.
Well, but I'm saying if you both chicken in the same direction,
right. Oh, well,
you're still going to collide. You know, if you both pick to the left, then you just miss each other, and then yeah, you don't tell anybody, and you move on. You just gotta Tokyo drift through the.
Yeah. Oh.
That doesn't happen. There are so many fucking pillars and posts in these parking garages that I do believe that you would run into something. I don't believe that you would flip over. 2 months really feels like a long time to film this thing. But I guess if you can only shoot in, an 8-hour window.
Yeah, I was going to say.
What is that? One scene a night?
Especially it's August when we're talking about night. Well, not like they actually have to shoot it. Has to be night outside. Just the fact those are probably just the off hours of when they can shoot at the functioning parking garage.
Right. But yeah, you can film one scene every day,
and that's outside of holding everything in, setting everything up, all the gear.
Ow! Fuck me!
All the gear, all the the makeup department, all the craft services, everything like that takes a lot of time.
I'd be willing to bet the craft services was next door or somewhere.
Possibly, maybe. I'm just saying, all the little things you have to truck in and get set up and stations put together and all that stuff.
Do you think it's possible that
I'm not quite sure how to
they would, like, cordon off maybe the bottom row?
Maybe.
Like the very bottom level is unusable.
And store all their stuff.
Right, and then
yeah, maybe.
that would
be
make
more
sense.
Practical, yeah.
And then you just bring up whatever you need.
Yeah.
Man, the whole like knife to the eye.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
And I love that they've got good swelling on it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, clearly he's blind in that eye forever.
Yeah. Check the credits. There's none of our familiars on the special makeup stuff, but they're doing a hell of a damn good job.
It's so good.
Yeah,
like his,
it's just infallible.
and then he calls her a stupid fucking cunt.
Now you've earned it. It's not like he hasn't earned it yet, but now you just triggered it. He's gone. He's twisted back the other way around. Now you've insulted her.
He's about to get Tony Caesared. I love the way that the flames look when they're flowing like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Burn it up with fever.
Oh, the explosion's just the icing, ain't it?
Lord Almighty, he feels his temperature rising. At what point do the tires pop?
Oof.
And if she wasn't miserable enough and slightly drying out, now she's got to get wet again.
Yes.
Mind you, it's Christmas Eve in New York City.
Yeah.
And there it is, freedom. She didn't even notice her cell phone. They would have been run over. R.I.P. Spoken Word Audio Books in Toronto. On, what'd you say, May Street or something?
Bay Street.
Bay Street. Look at that. My God, I'd be so frozen. 350 Bay Street. There it is.
Yeah.
Toronto. A whole store just for audiobooks.
Intriguing. That's a nice touch that they're responding to the fire alarm, probably.
Yeah.
She's got to walk, God knows how far.
Right.
Barefoot in the icy cold streets.
That's an interesting way to end it in the dark with the "Are you all right, lady?" You know what I mean?
And this is a nice touch.
Just the postcards of...
Yeah.
But it's not like...
They're just stills from the film. They didn't do like special like photos or anything. Which would have been a little bit better.
Like, for example, in Rain Man, with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise, okay? Rain Man, Dustin Hoffman is an autistic gentleman, and he takes photos throughout the movie with a camera, and during the end credits, they show you the photos that he took.
Okay.
Like, that's fun.
Sure.
Kim Creepin. That's a good name.
Ross Church.
That's another good name. There's a lot of good names on this one.
Peter Olsak.
Jan Regis. Rocky was played by Boris.
Boris, yes.
Okay, so now it's Christmas Day. I don't know. This is rough. It's a rough scenario to be in.
Yeah.
Like, I think considering the premise, they did a pretty good job of keeping you going.
Yeah.
And it's an hour and a half, so it's not like it
breezy.
It was 60 minutes and then they stretched it because they were really,
right.
Leland James Bond. I think that the story was pretty good.
Yeah.
And Wes Bentley, amazing.
Yes. Rachel Nichols.
Just amazinger.
Yes.
Yeah, well done. And it's Christmas, and we are happy that everyone has joined us once again for our ninth. I guess offerings. It's our 9th year of holiday offerings, right?
Thereabout.
I don't know. Yeah, yes, because we started 8 years ago, which makes it the 9th Christmas.
Gremlins, Die Hard 2, Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night, Bad Santa, Batman Returns. I think that's about it. Well, one more.
We've done. This is the 9th Christmas.
Right.
So you've counted 7. This one makes 8. Then there's one more, and I can't think of what it is. But that's okay. You have a Christmas playlist?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Anyway, while you're looking that up, I will just say that I'm very happy.
Both the first 2 Home Alone.
Home Alones. Yep, Home Alone, that's right. That we're happy that you have joined us now for 9 Christmases.
Yes.
And hope you get everything you want from Santa.
Yes, guys. So thanks for joining us for another year. And I'll see you in the new year.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.